Viewers, welcome to the video, and this is a one short video. In this video we will finish or we will cover all the final term topic that we discuss in this video, and it will help for your preparation for final term. The first question, first of all, in general science subject, chapter number 3, biochemistry and biotechnology. And first of all, we discuss biochemistry and biotechnology. What is biochemistry and biotechnology? Chapter number 3, we are moving on chapter number 3. Here is chapter number 3. Chapter number 3. Is there any full screen view that we... all right, so here we start. What is biochemistry? First of all, we start like, what is biochemistry? Biochemistry is a branch of first of all, I have to use this line method. Biochemistry is a branch of chemistry in which deals with all chemical reaction taking place in living organisms like plants, animal, bacteria, etc. These chemical reaction can help in the synthesis, means anabolism, or breakdown. It is called breakdown, means catabolism of biological molecules. The digested food become part of the body due to anabolic reaction, while respiration is a simple catabolic reaction. Respiration is a catabolic reaction, or photosynthesis is an anabolic reaction. Sorry, digested food became a part of anabolic reaction, means and the respiration is catabolic reaction. Its knowledge has been used to produce a large number of material for the benefits of human beings. The term biotechnology was introduced in 1970. The technique of biotechnology can be used to alter the genetic makeup of microscopic organisms to produce useful materials like enzymes and hormones. So this is the overview of biochemistry and biotechnology. Like, what is biochemistry and what is biotechnology? So now we are moving on. First of all, we have to delete these lines, and now we are discussing the next topic, which is enzymes. What are the enzymes? What are the enzymes? That is the enzymes. Okay, what is the enzyme? Enzymes are the biological catalyst. A catalyst is a substance which can change or speed up a chemical reaction. Enzymes catalyze by biochemical reaction and are protein in chemical structure. Enzymes speed up different catabolic and anabolic reactions. Enzymes are required in very small amount. They are very specific in their reaction. For example, amylase acts on starch but not on protein. So the enzymes are specific. They have this specific ability. Enzymes do this specific task on a certain time. Like the amylase enzyme act on starch but not on protein, and protein enzymes act on protein, not on starch. So enzymes do the specific task as the enzyme's ability on specific tasks. So enzymes are specific for each purpose. The substance on which the enzymes act are called substrates. The substance on which the enzymes act are called substrates. The specificity of an enzyme is due to its shape, because enzymes have different shapes like that, and like that. round, and so these are the shapes like of enzyme. So if you have that structure and you need an enzyme, so what enzyme do you prefer for this place? This enzymes could be fit in this place. So this enzymes is specific for this place. And if you have this type of task, or you need a catalyst, or you need a specific work in your body, so in this place that enzymes will be the best for this place, for this task. So enzymes are specificity of enzymes is due to its shape. Shapes are the basic reason behind the specificity of enzymes. So enzymes is clear. From that place we are, I think we have a little definite data here, so we can discuss here. Some enzymes need other compounds to complete catabolic reaction. Catabolic reaction means to break down, to cut down. Catabolic reaction, anabolic or catabolic. Catabolic mean to break down. Catabolic reaction, these are called coenzyme. Some enzymes need other compound to complete catabolic reactions. These are called coenzymes. So coenzymes are the enzymes that complete catabolic reactions, and enzymes need other compounds, and compounds called coenzymes. Coenzymes are non-protein substances. Coenzymes are non-protein substances, but enzymes are proteins. Okay. Role of enzymes. Next topic is role of enzymes in our daily life. So now we are moving on roles of enzymes. Enzyme plays an important role in our daily life. They are useful in industry. Enzymes are used in chemical and pharmaceutical industry. They are used in cheese production. Enzymes are commonly used in food processing industry. The enzyme papain is obtained from papaya and used to treat tenderizer. To tender the meat, we use papain, and papain comes from papaya. And papain come from papaya, and papaya used for meat tenderizer. We use as a meat tenderizer to tenderize the meat, because it's a difficult process and it's a lengthy process. But if you use papain in meat, your meat will be tenderized in just few minutes, within minutes. Okay, so we have here, we complete the enzyme topic. Now we are moving on blood and its function. Blood and its function. Blood and its function. Okay, we are moving on blood and its function. Next topic is 3.3 blood and its function. Blood is the most important fluid of human body. It transports digested food and oxygen to the cells of all parts of the body. It brings back the useless products of metabolism into kidneys and liver. Blood is a very complex fluid. It consists of a liquid blood plasma in which blood cells are suspended. So here we read about blood. What is blood? Blood transport. What kind of transport that blood produce in our body, like digested food and oxygen to the cells of all part of the body, bring back the useless product to the kidney and liver. And blood is a very complex thing. consists a liquid blood plasma in which blood cells suspended. So blood cells are suspended in liquid blood plasma. All right. Now we are moving on the next paragraph. I think we use the highlighter mode, which is more better than that. Highlighter mode is, I think, better than that. Yes, it is better. Size. Yes, it is better. It is. So we are here, we are 100%. Now we use this yellow pencil. Red blood cells, erythrocytes. White blood cells, leukocytes. So here's the name of red blood cell, erythrocytes, and the white blood cells are called leukocytes, and platelets float in the plasma. The fluid part of the blood without blood cells is called plasma. The fluid part of blood without blood cells is called plasma. If we remove blood clotting protein called fibrogen from plasma, then remaining fluid is called serum. The blood cells are helpful in transport of gases. White blood cells control body immunity system, and blood platelets are helpful in blood clotting. So what is serum from plasma? Then we remaining fluid is called serum. If we remove clotting protein, which is called fibrogen, from plasma, then the remaining fluid is called serum. How we get the serum from the blood? We remove the blood clotting protein from the plasma, and we get the serum. The blood cells are helpful when we talk about the transport of gases in the body. White blood cells also control the immunity system in a body, which is the security system of a body. And also blood platelets are helpful in blood clotting. Blood platelets help when you need blood clotting, whenever you face a severe accident and the blood flow will count down your last minutes of your life, then the blood clotting system will be the best rescuer of your life. So what is the next thing that we are talking about? Blood groups. What is blood groups? Blood groups. Human blood appears simply same, but chemically people have different types of blood. This difference is based on antigen present on the surface of the red blood cells. The human blood is divided into A, B, AB, and O groups on the basis of antigen and antibodies, and it is called ABO system of blood. If a certain person belongs to a group of blood, then this due to A antigen present in the surface of red blood cells. If a person's red blood cells have B antigen, then he belongs to B group. Type AB individuals have both A and B antigen. Type O individuals are known as universal donor because their blood cells carry neither A nor B antigens. They can donate their blood to any person. Type AB individuals are universal recipient because their red blood cells have both antigen and they can receive blood from any individual. So blood AB are the universal recipient and blood O are the universal donors. Okay. Characteristics of ABO blood groups. Characteristics of ABO blood groups. Blood group A, antigen on A blood group, antigen A. And what is the antibody in blood group A? B. And donor of blood group A can donate to blood group A, and O blood group can donate blood to blood group A. And A blood group, who are the recipient of blood group A? A blood group can be the recipient of blood group A, and also AB group blood group can receive blood from A blood group. And blood group B have the antigen B antigen in the RBC, and blood group B have A antibodies in plasma. And who are the donor of blood group B? B is the donor of blood group B. Blood group B can donate the blood to the blood group B. And also O blood group can donate the blood to blood group B. Who can receive the blood from B blood group? B can receive the blood from blood group B, and also AB can receive blood from blood group B. Next blood group is AB blood group. AB blood group have antigen in red blood cells, AB antigens. And what are the antibodies in the plasma? None. There is no antibodies in the plasma of blood group AB. Who are the donor of blood group AB? A can donate blood to blood group AB, AB, and O. These are all a blood group can donate blood to blood group AB. And who can receive blood from blood group AB? Who are the recipient of blood group AB? AB can only recipient means receive. So blood group AB can only receive from blood group AB. AB can only donate blood to blood group AB. So here's the technical thing, like the donor who can donate blood, AB blood, who can donate. Donor means to donate blood to AB, and recipient mean who can receive from blood from AB. So AB blood group can only receive blood from AB. Donate. AB can donate only blood to AB group, but AB can receive from all of them, but AB blood group can donate only his blood to blood group AB. So the next blood group is O blood group O. Antigen on the RBC of O blood group is none. There is no antigen in RBC of blood group O. What is the antibodies in the plasma of blood group O? AB is the antibodies in the plasma of blood group O. And donor who can donate blood to blood group O? O is the only blood group that can donate blood to blood group O. And who can receive the blood from blood group O? A, B, AB, and O. All these can receive blood from blood group O. O is the universal donor and AB is the universal recipient. AB can receive blood from all group and O can donate blood to all blood groups. There is next we are going to read about that paragraph. There is a second blood group system is called Rh factor. It is based on another red blood cell called antigen called the Rh factor. A can be Rh positive or Rh negative depending upon the presence or absence of Rh factor. So Rh factor means that if Rh factor present in your blood, it is positive blood group. If Rh factor not present in your blood, it is Rh negative blood group, negative blood group. A pregnant Rh negative mother cannot receive Rh positive blood because it can harm unborn Rh positive blood inherited from father. It is dangerous, and the mother is injected with anti-Rh antibodies after delivering her first Rh positive body. So Rh is also the part of blood group. Like if your blood group A positive, it means that in your blood group A, Rh factor is present. So you can understand here, if Rh factor presence of Rh factor in your blood group will be positive. Okay. So the next the next thing that we read, DNA as a hereditary. DNA as a hereditary. The information for hereditary characters of a person are present in his genes. These genes are made up of a chemical compound called DNA or deoxyribose nucleic acid and are part of chromosomes located in the cell nucleus. DNA is made up of building block or unit called nucleic acid. I'm going to on power saving mode. So here we have two things. DNA. What is DNA? DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid. DNA is made of building blocks or units called nucleotides. Nucleotides are the building block of DNA. Nucleotides are composed of a base sugar and phosphate group. Nucleotides are composed of a base sugar and phosphate group. These nucleotides are present in pairs and form double helical molecules called DNA. So this is the double string shape is because of these nucleotides, because they nucleotides are present in pairs and form a double helical molecules called DNA. So this shape is called double helical molecule shape. So that's why DNA is look like that, because of the nucleotides. The special part of DNA has coded information, and these parts are called genes. So what is genes? Here we have another short question. The special parts of DNA has coded information, and these parts are called genes. So genes are the special parts of DNA has coded information in it. So genes carries coded information in DNA, and genes are the special parts of the DNA. The bases are specifically arranged on DNA. The bases are specifically arranged on DNA. So the arrangement of genes on DNA is specifically on a very mannered shape. When a DNA molecules produce another molecule like itself, then the process is called DNA replication. So we have another short MCQ. No, it's also MCQs, but if we are talk about the short definitions, genes definition, DNA replication definition, nucleotides definition, what is DNA? So these are the short questions that we can probably got from that paragraph. DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid. Nucleotides are the building blocks or units of DNA. Genes are the coded information, a part of the DNA has the coded information in it, And DNA replication means the production of another molecules itself, then process is called DNA replication. DNA is present in all the biological organisms. A child received its DNA from the both parents. The characters of an individual, for example skin color, height, fitness, etc., are transferred to its offspring inheritedly. The defects in DNA are responsible of certain diseases like diabetes and hemophilia, which are transmitted from parents to their offspring. Offspring mean children, okay? A set of all the genes in a cell called genome. We have another definition here, which is genome. What is genome? So genome means a set of all the genes in a cell are called genome. DNA, what is DNA? I am going to mark here what are the important definition here. Genes are made of chemical and or chromosome located in nucleic acid. What? So I am here marking up the short questions. DNA, building blocks, nucleotides. All right. So genes, short definition, DNA replication, and genome. Genome are the set of all the genes in a cell is called genome. Human genome consists of 3.2 billion letters or base pairs. Human genome consists of 3.2 billion letters or base pairs. The map or nucleotide sequence of 99.9% of human genome has been completed. This information is very important for medical science. So these are the important information about the medical science subject. I think we miss here another important thing. Landsteiner is in 1902 divided human population in 4 blood group on the basis of blood group. Human population divided into 4 groups because of a basis on the blood groups. Landsteiner in 1902. Any other key information? There's no key information. Another key information we have ever missed. So this is the image of new DNA molecules. These are the new DNA molecules, which is the process of DNA replication, formation of DNA molecules, replication of DNA, opening of DNA molecules, and this is the opening of DNA molecule, and this is the formation of new DNA molecule, which is also called replication of DNA. Okay, so we are completed this topic here, and now it is time to move on another topic: genetic engineering. So the next topic which we are going to discuss is genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is a set of techniques used to transfer genes from one organism to another. Individual genes can be cut off from the cells of one organism and inserted into the cells of another. Individual genes, genes cut off from the cell of one organism, and then we inserted their genes into another cells of another person or another animal. The genes from different sources can be combined in a test tube and then transferred into living cells. This technique is called genetic engineering. So genetic engineering is a technique of the genes different sources can be combined in a test tube and then transferred into another living cells. So this is the genetic engineering definition. What is genetic engineering? This is a short definition of genetic engineering, and this is called genetic engineering. Role of genetic engineering in human welfare. Any organism which receive a foreign gene is called transgenic organism. We have another short question here. Transgenic organism. Any organism which can receive foreign gene is called transgenic organism. Following are the step of production of genetically engineered organism. First step is identification of the gene of interest. First we identify the gene of interest that we are required. The second step is removal of the gene from the donor. In the second step, we remove the gene from the donor who donate the gene. We remove the gene from the donor. The third step is conversion of the gene into chromosome or DNA. And in third step, we convert the gene into chromosome or DNA. Step 4, introduction of the desired gene carrying into the recipient. And in step number 4, introduction of the desired gene carrying into the recipient. So the next heading is significance of genetic engineering in agriculture and livestock. What is the importance of genetic engineering in livestock and agriculture? Genetic engineering has revolutionized the agriculture, which is apparent from the following examples. Number 1, production of high yield crops, varieties and animals, milk and meat production. Number 2, improvement in the nutritional quality of edible parts of plants. Or number 2, improvement in the nutritional quality of edible parts of plants. Number 3, introduction of herbicide, weed killing chemicals, pesticide, insect killing chemicals. So all these things are just because of genetic engineering. Number 4, increase in the shelf life of fruits and vegetable. Shelf life of fruits and vegetable is also with the help of genetic engineering. Number 5, transfer of nitrogen fixing genes into non-legumes. What are legumes? Wheat, rice, and etc. So genetic engineering also helps in transfer of nitrogen fixing genes into the legumes, which is wheat, rice, etc. Number 6, improvement in fruit quality, and improvement in fruit quality also with the help of genetic engineering. Next heading is production of high yield crops. How we get the high yield crops? We can use the technique of biotechnology to obtain genetically modified, which is called GM, genetically modified varieties of plants. So with the help of biotechnology, we can get the genetically modified, which is GM, varieties of plants. It has been observed that most of the high yield crops or fruits trees are quite susceptible to diseases. It is quite desirable to introduce the disease resist gene into the high yield disease check plants. So the genetic engineering, it means that the things that is genetically engineered are very vulnerable about the disease attack, because there are lots of disease attack on those things which are genetically engineered, because there are lots of gaps that needed to be filled in that genes that are in the next generation we got. The next heading is production of high yield animals. So how we can get the high yield animals with the help of biotechnology and genetic engineering. It is desirable to produce high milk and meat producing animals to feed the constantly increasing human population. A normal breeding program in animal is quite lengthy. Biotechnology techniques can not only shorten the time of production of desirable breed but also control the disease caused by crossing the closely related animals. In this paragraph, we learn about that how we can get the um, requirement about the food and how animals can grow faster because the natural process is quite lengthy, but with the help of biotechnology we can get like meat quickly than the natural time, which is quite lengthy. And we can also produce we can also eliminate the diseases that are produced from the cross of closely related animals. The cloning or production of genetically similar individual has already been carried out for sheep. This technique can be used for the production of animal organs in future. This technique can be used for the production of animal organs in the future. So this is the sheep, which is called, she is Dolly, genetically engineered sheep. This sheep born with the genetically engineered system, how they clone from his mother with the same shape, with the same of everything. And in 1996, Dolly was the genetically engineered product that world um, can see the power of genetic engineering and biotechnology. And Dolly was the product of genetically engineered. Um, she was the sheep. It is a sheep of by she was born with the help of genetic engineering. The role of biotechnology in the betterment of crops. Weed killing ability. Herbicides are the chemicals which are used to control the weed or unwanted plants growing in crops. Sometimes these herbicides also affect the crop besides killing the weeds. A weak solution of cyanamide kills weed but also causes some damage to tobacco plants. Such genes are transferred in the tobacco plants, due to which the plants not only show resistance against the herbicide but also get advantage in their growth. So weed killing ability, if we talk about the tobacco plants, the a weak solution of cyanamide kills weed but also damage the tobacco plants. But if we genetically engineered the tobacco plants not only resist the herbicide but also advantage in their growth. Pest resistance. Bt gene can induce pest resistance in plant. Biotechnology gene can induce pest resistance in plants. This gene has been introduced in cotton, and the crop has become resistance to attack of the insects in 2002 and 3. The season the insects called aphids damaged the wheat crop on some part of Sindh province. A huge amount of expensive pesticides were used to control aphid. This problem can be solved by producing aphid resistant varieties with the help of genetic engineering techniques. Pest resistance, we have covered pest resistance. Here we have the example of A and B. A is the non-engineered tomato plant that has been completely eaten by caterpillar. B, the engineered tomato plant that is not affected by the caterpillar. A successful experiment in pest resistance. So this is the pest resistance experiment. Number 3, improvement of crop yield. Classical technique of plants breeding requires several years and large amount of money for production of new high-yield crops. Through genetic engineering, in a short time, high-yield crops are produced. So we can get high-yield crops with the help of genetic engineering because the natural duration is quite lengthy, and also money, we consume the lots of money and we requires a large amount of money. But with the genetic engineering we can get the same amount of yield from the crops, but just because of genetic engineering in a shorter amount of time. So we done this topic here, and now what topic we will cover? Role of biotechnology in betterment of crop. We done that. Recycling of waste material and saccharous materials. So we done all the above topics, and now we are moving on. Recycling of waste and scar materials. Recycling of waste and scarce materials. Recycling is retrieval and reuse of waste materials for manufacturing purpose. A large number of solid waste like iron, glasses, plastic, and rubber can be recovered from made reusable. Recycling is important for reduction in rubbish to control environment pollution. Number 2, conversion of raw materials and natural resources. Treatment of sewage saves water, which is scarce in many parts of world. Number 4, recycling saves energy and money. So these are the things that we can get from recycling, how recycling is important and what is the importance of recycling. Many of the materials discarded as rubbish, such as paper, cardboard, plastic, rubber, metal, glasses, etc., can be retrieved and recycled through respective industries. We have conserved the natural resources so that the environmental pollution could be controlled. A large amount of domestic and industrial rubbish is dumped as waste. Many of the discarded materials are valuable, which could be recycled and used. For example, newspapers, paper bags, cardboard boxes, if thrown away, represent a loss of materials. More trees would have to be cut down to make papers. This would result in deforestation. By reusing waste materials, recycling help us to reduce the problem of solid waste disposal. The recycling of solid, this is the diagram of glass, old bottle industry, recycling new bottle, recycling production of new bottles from old one. So this is the diagram of recycling. Old bottle have the glass goes to industry recycle it and make new bottle. So this is the recycling process, how we can get a new bottle from old bottle because of recycling. Waste means that there is less rubbish to be burnt. Many industries produce wastes that contain metals. Recovery of these metals from the waste not only help us to conserve the metal but also reduce environmental pollution. Recycling of savage wastes through treatment can make it reusable. This is important in those parts of the world where water is very scarce. Sewage, if untreated, represent a loss of water. Untreated sewage also pollutes streams, rivers, and lakes. This makes the water unfit for human consumption. In urban areas, sewage can be treated in sewage tank. The purified Effluent water is then discharged into rivers, streams, or lakes. Such water may flow into reservoirs and later be treated and used for human consumption. Recycling of waste material can save energy and money. Some household rubbish, for example paper, can burn to provide energy for domestic purpose. This can be done to provide heat for hot water and central heating system. Broken glass bottle cup jars can be crushed and recycled. The use of crushed glass is to make new containers, save materials, the energy and cost reduced as this is process use less fuel. Similarly, the recycling of aluminum cans and bottles caps can save materials, energy and money. Organic manure and heat energy are the more practical things which can be obtained from recycling of waste material. Some developed countries some developed countries are trying to generate electricity by burning rubbish. So the above are the uh, all about the recycling. What are recycling? The next and the last thing is disposal of rubbish. There are three methods for waste disposal in developed countries. So these are the three methods that used in developed countries in order to dispose the waste material. Number one, composite of natural fertilizer. Compost of a natural fertilizer. To get a natural fertilizer, they use the waste material. Number two is burning in incinerators. It means that in high temperature burning. Number three is to bury underground according to the method of hygiene. And the third method is to bury the waste according to the method of hygiene. It means bury the waste in high depth. So these are the three disposable method of waste material or rubbish in developed countries. So here are the most important thing we can get. Enzymes work as catalyst in biological reactions. Blood consists of two parts called plasma and blood cells. DNA is abbreviation of deoxyribose nucleic acid and it consists of subunit called nucleotides. Diabetes and hemophilia occurs due to change in DNA molecules. Protein are digested in intestine and finally convert into amino acids. So we complete all the chapter 3 things, all the things we complete in this chapter, biotechnology and biochemistry. Now we are discussing about the chapter 6, which is environment and natural resources. Environment and natural resources. If we talk about the glossary, what is biochemistry? The study of biochemical reaction in living organisms is called biochemistry. A study of biochemical reactions in living organisms is called biochemistry. Catalyst: change the speed of chemical reaction without undergoing any chemical change in structure. Catalyst mean that change the speed of chemical reaction without any difference in chemical structure. Genome: all the genes present in a cell called genome. So what is genome mean? Genome means all the genes present in a cell called genome. All the genes present in a cell called genome. Genetic engineering: a technique to transfer genes from one organism to another. Genetic engineering is a technique to transfer genes from one to another organism. Recycling: to produce new product from useless waste or rubbish is called recycling. So now the next chapter is chapter number 6. We are moving on chapter number 6. Chapter number 6 that we are moving on chapter number 6. Chapter number 6 is environment and natural resources. Environment and is silent. So what is the first? First is earth atmosphere. Now we are discussing about the what is earth atmosphere. Earth atmosphere. Atmosphere is an envelope of gases that covers the earth from all sides. Atmosphere is an envelope of gases that covers the earth from all sides. It is about 200 kilometers thick. The air we breathe in is the part of that atmosphere. The air that we breathe is a part of atmosphere. Photosynthesis and burning also occurs in presence of air. Photosynthesis and burning process is just because the presence of air. Atmosphere maintain the temperature of the earth and protects from harmful radiations coming from sun. Atmosphere also maintain the temperature of earth and act as a protector against the radiations coming from the sun, harmful radiations especially. What is the next topic? Composition of atmosphere. The next topic is composition of atmosphere. What is the composition of atmosphere? Composition of atmosphere. The atmosphere is made up about 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. So in atmosphere there is 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. The remaining 1% consists of water vapors and trace gases. What is 1%? 1% is water vapors and trace gases like carbon dioxide, hydrogen, argon, helium, ozone. Okay, our Earth is the only planet of the solar system where free state oxygen and water vapors are present. Living organisms use oxygen in respiration, although the proportion of carbon dioxide in air is only 0.04%. But this gas is also very important for life on Earth. Plants utilize carbon dioxide for preparation of food during photosynthesis. All other organisms which cannot prepare their own food also depend on this food. Carbon dioxide also helps in maintaining the earth temperature. Carbon dioxide is produced during respiration and burning. The proportion of carbon dioxide is increasing in the air as a result of human activities. This may rise Earth's temperature and lead to climate change. What is the next topic? Next topic is different layers of atmosphere. What are the different layers of atmosphere? First is layers of atmosphere. First is troposphere, second is stratosphere, third is mesosphere, and fourth is thermosphere. Different layers of atmosphere. Atmosphere is divided into 4 parts or layers. Each layer has its own characteristics feature. The four layers and their important characteristics are given below. Number 1. Troposphere. The troposphere extends to a height of about 18 km above Earth's surface. Most of the gas molecules and water vapors are in the troposphere. This is the layer where most of the weather occurs. Number 2. The stratosphere. This layer is above the troposphere. It reaches about height of 50 km from sea level. Most jet planes travel in lower stratosphere. The upper stratosphere contains a layer of gas called ozone. The ozone layer is very important to living things because it filters out most of the ultraviolet radiations given off by the sun. Number 3 is the mesosphere. Beyond the stratosphere is the mesosphere, which extends about 85 km above Earth's surface. This is the coldest layer of atmosphere. The temperature in the mesosphere can be as low as minus 100 degrees centigrade. The colder temperature of the mesosphere can be as low as minus 100 degrees centigrade. Number 4. The thermosphere. The thermosphere is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. It is the hottest layer where temperature may be as high as 2000 degrees centigrade. Figure 6.3 Ozone layer. Ozone hole, ultraviolet rays in, ozone layer. This is the ozone layer and this is the ozone hole. Depletion of ozone layer. Ozone is a gas present in the upper stratosphere. Ozone present in upper stratosphere. It forms a protective covering around the Earth, which prevents ultraviolet radiations, UV radiations, from reaching the Earth. Certain chemicals are released from refrigerator, air conditioners, spray cans, and factories manufacturing packaging foams. These chemicals are called chlorofluorocarbon (CFCs). CFCs react with ozone, causing its depletion and thinning of ozone layer. Consequently, greater number of UV radiations reach the Earth. These radiations may cause cancer and eye disease. The energy radiations and their absorption in the atmosphere. Sun is the biggest source of energy, light and heat. Radiations from the sun is the form of light come uninterrupted to the earth. These radiations have short wavelength. On striking the earth, they are absorbed and raise its temperature. This is called absorption. This is the figure number 6.4, energy absorption and reflection. Sun transferring radiations. These radiations striking to earth, light rays, energy radiations, ozone cloud. So radiations striking earth and they absorbed and raise its temperature. The hot earth reflects the absorbed radiation in the form of long wavelength heat radiations. Carbon dioxide and water vapors allow radiations coming from the sun to pass through. However, they prevent the reflected heat radiations from going back into the space. Thus, the atmospheric temperature is maintained. Greenhouse effect. What is the next topic? Depletion of ozone layer. We have discussed greenhouse effect and global warming. Now we are discussing that topic. Greenhouse effect. Greenhouse is a room made up of a glass. Greenhouse is a room made up of glass. It is used to grow plants. Solar radiations, short wavelength, can enter through the glass into the greenhouse, but heat waves, long wavelength, cannot go out of the greenhouse. This result is higher temperature inside the greenhouse. This phenomena is called greenhouse effect. It means that the greenhouse is a room of glass. It is used to grow plants. Solar radiation, which has the shorter wavelength, can enter that room in the glass, in the greenhouse, but heat waves longer have longer wavelength, cannot go out of the greenhouse, and this result in higher in temperature inside the greenhouse. This phenomenon is called greenhouse effect. Figure 6.5, greenhouse effect. Energy, solar energy, coming heat from the sun, greenhouse gases, and there is greenhouse gas pollution. So earth plays as a role of greenhouse effect as in a greenhouse. Atmospheric pollution due to industrialization in modern time has increased the proportion of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbon, and methane in air. These gases produce greenhouse effects. Because of greenhouse effects, global temperature is increasing. This is called global warming. Greenhouse effects and global warming have many undesirable effects. For example, number 1, Earth's climate and weathers may change. Number 2, melting of ice caps on poles and mountains and excessive rains may raise sea level. Many coastal areas may go undersea. Global warming, greenhouse, environmental pollution. Next, effects of human activities on climate, wind, and weather. Effects of human activities on climate and wind and weather. Are we humans really bringing such changes in the atmosphere that may change global climate? Shall increased greenhouse gases due to human activities lead to a global warming? Shall these changes lead to alteration in the air circulation pattern, intensity of rains and climatic condition? And shall these changes become intolerable for humans and other living things? A close relation has been observed between the increasing global temperature and increased level of greenhouse gases during the second half of 20th century. Some experts of environment say that the future heat will become unbearable. Deserts will expand, some areas will have more rains and floods. Sea level will rise due to melting of ice. Also, climate change will lead to extinction of many present-day species. What is the next topic? Environmental pollution. What is the environmental pollution? Let's talk about that. 6.2, environmental pollution. Pollution means any change in the properties of air, water, or land which have undesirable effect on man or other living things, or may have such effect in future. Human activities in modern industries world produce a large amount of waste, different gases, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur oxide, or nitrogen, etc. Smoke, useless particles, and toxic water are released from factories or vehicles. Human excreta Human excreta, leftover food stuff, and domestic trash is also intended in waste causing pollution. Fertilizers and pesticides are used to increase agriculture production. They are washed off by water or blown away with the wind and cause environmental pollution. Any excess or waste substance that can cause pollution is called pollutant. Pollutant. Types of pollution. According to the part of environment being affected, pollution is categorized into three types. What are three types? Air or atmospheric pollution, number one. Number two, water pollution. Number three, land pollution. Number one, air pollution. Air is considered polluted when change occurs in its composition or quality. This change is this change in quality of the air is due to the addition of different gases, smoke, and particles. Some important sources of these materials are: number one, burning of fuels in factories, vehicles, and fuels driven power stations. Number two, material released during the preparation of goods in the factories or coming out. Number three, stake of furnace. For example, acetous fibrous particles of lead and zinc. Number three, release of chlorofluorocarbons from spray cans and during the preparation of packaging foam. Number four, dust chemical, fertilizer and insecticides blown into the atmosphere by wind. This is the figure of air pollution. How air is polluted by all these factors. The brick furnace generating the smoke that harmful for the uh, air. An airplane consume the burning material and release the gases, and the vehicles have the combustion engine, and these all these things generate um, chemicals and smoke and different chemicals that harmful for the air. Effects. Air pollution affects plants, animal, and human life in many ways. Hydrocarbons, monoxide, lead, particles, and acetous fibres may cause cancer and respiratory and eye diseases. A brown-colored gas called nitrogen peroxide combines with some other gases in the presence of light and form compound called smoke. What is smoke? A brown-colored gas called nitrogen peroxide combines with some other gases in the presence of light and form a compound called smoke that is we are facing in most of the countries in the winter season. Smoke causes lung disease. Other than this cannot be seen clearly. Things cannot be seen clearly. Excess of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere produces greenhouse effect. Earth's temperature is said to be rising due to the greenhouse effect. Sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen in the air cause acid rain, which damage plants, aquatic animals, and buildings. Acid rain. You can see that acid rain. Factories generating smoke and harmful material in the air, and then air mix these things in the clouds, and then cloud um, have doing the acidic rain on the trees, buildings, and other living things, and these are all things are suffering and get the harmful effects. Figure 6.8 is the things cannot be seen clearly due to smoke. So you can see that things can be seen clearly because of the smoke. Number two is water pollution. Water pollution is generally caused when industrial waste, trash, and sewage from cities is discharged into the water bodies like rivers, streams, ponds, lakes, and oceans. Water pollution is a problem chiefly of industrialized countries, but nowadays many developing countries like Pakistan are also facing this problem. Heavy metals like chromium, lead, mercury are produced as waste in the leather, textile, plastic, and other chemical factories. They can get entry into the water bodies. When heavy metals and other toxic material enter into the bodies of living organisms, they may cause cancer and various diseases. Water pollution. You can see that the water pollution when humans wash their clothes and uh, put the harmful substance into the water, and also the factories put their waste material into the water. Sewage and domestic waste contain leftover food, detergent, and human excreta. On entering into the water bodies, they increase the concentration of salt and organic matter in water. This result decrease amount of oxygen in water. Consequently, aquatic life, fish and aquatic plants is badly affected. Fishes have disappeared from Nala Lake and River Ravi near Lahore due to the water pollution. In addition to the above effect, polluted water become unfit for drinking as well as for domestic and industrial use. Disease is causing germs are another serious cause of water pollution. They cause cholera, typhoid, and disease due to worms of digestive tract. Especially the children are affected by these diseases. Chemical fertilizers and pesticides sprayed on crops are washed off with rainwater and enter into rivers, streams, and underground water. Oil spills from oil tanker have dangerous effect on life of marine plants and animals as they form thick layer of oil on the surface of sea water. In July 27, 2003, a Greek oil tanker Tasman Spirit met incident near Karachi harbor and split up into two sections. About 20,000 tons of crude oil spilled into the sea. 20,000 tons of crude oil spilled into the sea, most of it reaching the Clifton Beach. This oil spill badly affected coastline environment, marine life, and recreational spots like manora dumping of nuclear waste into the sea or oceans may become another source of water pollution. Dumping the nuclear waste into the sea or ocean may become another sea source of water pollution. What is number three heading? Heading number three is land pollution. Municipal trash, sewage, sludge, agriculture waste, and chemicals from industries are the major source of land pollution. This is the figure 6.10 is the land pollution. Solid wastes are often disposed of either by burning in or dumping into the ground. From the environment viewpoint, both these methods are not completely safe. Germs and toxic substances from heaps of trash enter into the environment or food by wind. Water or flies, germs and toxic substances thus carried out number of diseases. Waste polythene bags are not decomposed and also seen flying in streets or open places. They also cause choking or drains. choking of drains. Measures to produce pollution. Now we are going to first check how these are all things that we have done. Water, air, and land pollution, reflection and absorption. We have already done that, and climate change, human activities and weather below the greenhouse effect on global warming. We have already discussed all these things. Measure reduce pollution. Pollution and environmental degradation can all be prevented if individual society or the government feel that their responsibility is. Everyone should have aware and sensitive about the environment problems. All should play an active role in the solution of these problems. Agriculture and industry are essential for economic development and better living, but keeping pollution to minimum level is also necessary so that human beings, other organisms, plants and animals, and thus future generations live a healthy and happy life. We should, what we should do, not throw waste articles here and there or into the water bodies. Dispose of the things properly. Number 2, make minimum and only necessary use of resources, do not waste them. Number 3, prefer things that can be reused. Materials can be also recycled. Number 4, prefer things which are biodegradable. For example, they can easily be decomposed into simple harmless substances by the action of microorganisms. Number 5, through domestic, industrial and hospital waste into air, land and water only after treating to make them harmless. Number 6, at government level, minimum environment standard must be set and enforced. The owner of industries and factories be bound to the measure that should minimize pollution. Number 5, 6, 7, implement more and more trees and should take care of them. So what are the next topic? Chapter number 7, energy, work and energy. What is work and what is energy? Chapter number 7. What is atmosphere? Atmosphere, an envelope of gases and that surrounded Earth. What is ozone? Ozone, a gas containing 3 oxygen atoms per molecules. What is global warming? Global warming, an increase in Earth's surface temperature caused by increase in greenhouse gases. What is greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases, gases in the atmosphere that trap heat. Chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, a compound of carbon, chlorine and fluorine used in refrigerators, air conditioner, aerosols, cans, and in production of foam. What is smoke? A mixture of nitrogen peroxide, water vapors, and some other gases is called smoke. What is recycling? Production of new useful articles from used materials is called recycling. What is fossil fuel? Fuel derived from remains of organisms that lived long ago is called fossil fuel. What is wildlife? Naturally occurring organisms of an area. Wildlife reserve, area reserved for wildlife conservation. Chapter number 7. First of all, we talk about the energy. What is energy? Energy is the essential part of our lives. Energy is used in our daily life in different forms. We do many tasks from dawn till dark. For this we have to spend energy. We have get tired after working. We feel hungry. We take food which provide us energy. We cannot do anything without light. Light is also form of energy. We require heat to warm ourselves in winter. Heat is yet another form of energy. In summers, we use fans, refrigerator, and air conditioner for cooling. Beside them, we use many application appliances. All of them work with electricity. Electricity provide them energy to run. All of motorbikes, heavy vehicles, airplanes, and ships consume fuels which provide energy. As our usage of machines increases, our requirement of energy also increase. There is incredible amount of energy in big tides of sea. There is a positive and negative perspective of this. What is the next topic? Work and energy. Work and energy 7.1. For the proper definition of energy, we should first learn about work. Work. Suppose a person works in an office for the whole day, or worker holds up wooden box for half an hour. Apparently both of them have performed work, but in scientific term this would not be considered as work. There is proper definition of work in physics. When a force acts on a body and the body is displaced, then the force is said have done work on the body. Work is the product of force and distance in direction of force. For example, work is equal to force multiplied by distance covered in direction of force. The unit of work is joule, which is denoted in J. The ability of body to do work is known as energy. Energy is defined as energy is ability to do work. What is energy? Energy is ability to do work. Since the unit of for work is joule, therefore the unit for energy is also joule. Since the unit of work is joule, what is the unit of work? Joule. What is the unit of energy? Joule. Different forms of energy. 7.2. So first of all, what we are the topic, different form of energy. We will discuss the next. There are many forms of energy. Some common forms of energy are as follows. Kinetic energy. When a body is moving, it possesses energy. Because of force is acting on it, it is also covered some distance. It means that the body has ability to do work. Energy possessed by a body due to its motion is known as kinetic energy. Energy possessed by a body due to its motion is known as kinetic energy. What is the kinetic energy? It is related to the motion. When a cricket ball is hit with a bat, the ball runs fast. We can say that running ball possesses kinetic energy, but we observe that the ball stops after covering some distance. Then where did the kinetic energy go? Actually, a force acts on the moving ball opposite direction, which is ground friction. This frictional force causes the ball to stop. Here the friction of air is negligible. The ball has to apply the same amount of force opposite to the frictional force to keep its motion. Thus the ball is doing work against the friction, which is the product of its force and the distance covered. All the kinetic energy of the ball is consumed in doing work, and the ball eventually stop. This proves that the body can do work due to kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of a body depends upon its mass and speed. The more the mass or the speed of a body is, more its kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of a body depends upon the mass and speed. The more the mass or the speed of a body, or more its kinetic energy. Potential energy. A stone lying on ground does not possess the ability to do work. If that stone has to be moved up to a certain height, a force equal to the gravitational force will have to be applied on it. In other words, work has to be done on it. The work done will be stored in the stone as energy, and it will gain the ability to do work. Now, if the stone is released at the height, it will fall on the ground by itself doing work. The energy possessed by the stone at height is the potential energy. So the potential energy, when we hold a stone on a height and then we throw it, then it will possess the potential energy. Potential energy possessed by a body due to its position is known as potential energy. Energy due to its position is known as potential energy. Elastic potential energy. When a spring is pressed, an elastic potential energy is stored in it. When it released, it shoots up itself and possesses its ability to do work. The energy stored in a body by pressing, stretching, or twisting it, known as elastic potential energy. If a piece of rubber or the rubber of a slingshot is stretched, an elastic potential energy is stored in it. So what is the elastic potential energy? It is similar to potential energy, but when we stored with the help of rubber or elastic material. And how we store energy in it? By pressing, stretching, or twisting, especially in rubber or the rubber of slingshot, especially, or the things that we can stretch. What is the chemical energy? Next, 4. Sometime energy is emitted during chemical reaction. The source of this energy is chemical bonds between atoms. When these bonds break, energy is released in cells. The battery's chemical energy transforms into electrical energy. The energy obtained by burning fuels in car is also chemical energy. The energy obtained by our bodies by consuming food is also chemical energy. Number 5, heat energy. Heat is also a form of energy. Heat energy is due to movement of molecules of bodies. The faster movement of molecules, the greater is the heat energy. The sun is largest source of heat energy. Burning of fuel is another source of heat energy. When current passes through the element of an electric heater or electric iron, heat is produced, and this is the example of heat energy. Light energy, number 6. Light is another form of energy. We can see things with the help of light, like heat. The largest source of light is also sun. When current passes through a bulb, it emits light. When electrons revolving around the nucleus jumped from a higher energy orbit to a lower energy orbit, light is emitted. The leaves of plants prepare food or by photosynthesis. This process cannot be done without light. All creatures on earth are directly, indirectly dependent upon the food made by plants. Number 7, electrical energy. Electrical energy is the energy of moving charges. Electrical energy is used on large scale because it can be easily achieved by transferred from one place to another and can also be transferred into different forms of energy. We use energy obtained from different sources by converting it into electrical energy. For this purpose, power stations are built that supply electricity at far off places. Electrical energy is also one of the highly used on Earth. The energy that we use is electrical energy because we can convert electrical energy to heat energy, light energy, and there are different forms of energy that we can generate from electrical energy. So electrical energy is energy of moving charges. Number 8, nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is obtained by breaking the nuclei of heavy atoms. The process is called fission. Nuclear fission. This process is done in nuclear reactor where energy is released in the form of heat. This heat can be used to produce electricity. Energy is also released when nuclei of small atoms fuse together. This is known as nuclear fusion. It is also nuclear energy. The heat and light coming from the sun are released due to this process of fission and fusion. The energy of destruction in the atom bomb is also nuclear energy. What is the next topic? Demand of energy. Demand of energy. Next thing is demand of energy. 7.4, demand of energy. 50 years ago, there was no electricity in most of the houses. People used to illuminate their houses by candles, lanterns, or other such things instead of electric fans. Electric fans, handheld fans were used. There was no concept of things like refrigerator, television, but with the advancement of science, people got many comfort of life. Today, not only cities but villages also have been provided electricity. The increase in consumption of electricity is not confined to houses only, but dependence of industries on electricity has increased many folds. Not only large-scale factories but small workshops are also using machines. The use of electricity in agriculture is also increasing. Earlier people used to wait for rain or get water from wells, but now tube wells are run by electricity. Many barren lands have been irrigated by this. The yield per acre has increased. In many other fields of life, the consumption of energy is constantly increasing. It is required to discover more resources of energy and the present resources utilized in a better way. Demand of energy 7.4 is done. And what is the next topic? Production of electrical energy 7.5. 7.5, production of electrical energy. We use energy in the form of heat, light, and motion, etc. But the most important use of energy is the form of electrical energy. We change electrical energy in the form of heat, light, and motion according to the demand. The traditional method to make electricity involve the use of running water, burning fuel, and nuclear energy, but these resources are not sufficient to keep. With the increasing demand of electricity, we have to find new resources. Some of the traditional and non-traditional sources of producing electricity are as follows. Okay, the next is traditional methods of production of electricity. So what are the traditional methods of electricity? Number 1, hydroelectric power. Number 2, thermal power. Number 3, nuclear power. These are the traditional methods of production of electricity. The conversion of kinetic energy of running water to electrical energy is known as hydroelectric power. Water is stored in high lake or reservoir at height. Gravitational potential energy is stored in the water. When water falls from height, the potential energy is charged into kinetic energy. Tunnels are made to bring water from the reservoir to the lower place. The kinetic energy of running water turns the turbines, which in turn runs the electric generators. By this method, electricity is produced. Figure 7.5, hydroelectric power. Here we have reservoir. The water is stored here, and there is a pathway for water. Water here goes to the lower side of the that place, and here is the generator and have the turbines on it. Turbines move when water passes through it, and generator generate energy from that process of hydroelectric power. In fact, electrical energy is that potential energy of water which is obtained from falling water. There is no heat, smoke, or gas pollution in this method. Moreover, water from the power station is used for agriculture purposes. The number 2 is thermal power. In this method, coal, oil, and natural gas are burnt. They are known as fossil fuels. The remaining of plants and animals buried for millions of years under the earth are changed into fossil fuels. These fossil fuels are in limited quantity. It will take millions of years to form new fossil fuels once the old ones are exhausted. The chemical potential energy is stored in fossil fuels. The burning of these fuels gives out heat, which is used to generate steam that turns the turbines to produce electricity. Figure 7.6. In 7.6 we have thermal energy, thermal power. We are using coal, and here we have coal, fire, steam creating. Here the steam is generating, and the steam moving the generator have a turbine on it, and then the electricity produced and power goes to power line. The electricity that is generated goes to power lines. This is the thermal power. How thermal power we can get the energy from thermal power. The next is number 3, nuclear power. Many developing and developed countries generate electricity by nuclear energy. In Pakistan, there are nuclear power stations which are built at Karachi and Chashma. The source of nuclear is the nucleus of an atom in which energy is stored. When the nucleus of a heavy atom is broken, a large amount of energy in the form of heat is released. This process is known as nuclear fission. Uranium-235 or plutonium is used as fuel in nuclear fission. The whole process of nuclear fission is done in a nuclear reactor which is protected by a concrete wall. The heat obtained by nuclear fission is used to change water to steam, which in turn runs the electric generators. In this way, electricity is produced. Figure 7.7 shows different part of nuclear power stations. Here we have nuclear reactor, and this is 7.7 figure nuclear power station. Nuclear reactor, concrete wall, uranium rods, control rods, and there is steam to turbine, pumps, cooled gas, and steam moving the generators and moving the turbines, and these process generate the energy, and energy goes to power line to power station. This is the all the process of nuclear power station, how we can get energy from uh, nuclear fission and fusion reactions. Non-traditional methods of producing electricity. We cannot depend on the traditional method of getting energy for long. We should take all possible steps to promote new methods so that we may have sufficient and cheap resources to fulfill our energy need. Some of the non-traditional method of producing electricity are given below. Number 1, solar power. You must have seen calculators that runs without cells. The photocells installed in them transfer light to electricity. Solar energy is the energy obtained from the sun. Usually the solar energy falling on the atmosphere of Earth is almost 1.4 kilowatt per square meter. The dust particles, water vapors, and gases present in the atmosphere absorb, reflect, or disperse most of the energy but still about 1 kilowatt of energy per square meter reaches the earth's surface. Solar energy is used in two ways. In one way, solar panels absorb heat. These consist of large plates that have been painted black. 7.8 figures solar power. The absorbed heat is used to heat house or run a water heating system. Steam can also be produced by using reflectors or lenses that runs the turbines or generator and produce electricity. Figure 7.8. In the second method, sunlight is directly transferred to electricity with the help of solar cells. The voltage of one cell is very small, but for practical use we can connect many cells in series to get large voltage. Figure 7.9. Solar cells. At present, this method is expensive, but it is hoped to get it cheaper in future. Number 2, wind power. In wind power, kinetic energy of fast-blowing air is used to produce electricity. A windmill consists of 3 or 4 wings mounted on top of a pole. These are called turbines of windmills. When turbine turns due to air, we can make use of this energy in many ways. Traditional windmill is used to grind grains and to fetch water from the well. But modern windmills is used to run generators that produce electricity. A big farm of many windmills is made to produce electricity. This is capable of running huge generators. 7.10 figure wind farm. Number 3, tidal power. Big tides of water are generated in the sea due to attraction of moon. The energy of sea tide is known as tidal energy. The tidal energy can be produce electricity. A dam is constructed for this. At the arrival of high tides, water is trapped in the dam. On the return of the tide, trapped water is allowed to flow out such a way that it turns the turbine. The generator joined to the turbine produces electricity. The high tide moving toward the dam is also used to turn the turbine. Figure 7.11. Tidal power. High tide, sea, barrage, a tidal barrage. Water flows in from the sea, turning the turbines and generating electricity. Generator, low tide, sea. Water kept at the high tidal level. Water flows out to the sea, turning the turbines and generating electricity. 7.12. Tidal power. Number 4. Geothermal power. To make use of energy deep under the earth, in this form of hot water or steam is known as geothermal. About 10 km below the surface of Earth, there is a hot semi-molten rock at some places. The temperature of these rocks is 200 degree or above. Where there is water present over such rocks, it comes out the surface of Earth in form of fountain, geysers and steam. The steam is used to run generators. Where there is no water over, tunnels are drilled there up to the rocks and cold water is pumped through one tunnel, which comes out in the form of steam through uh, which come out the stream through the second tunnel. That stream runs the generator which produces electricity. Figure 7.13. 7.13 figure geothermal power. House can be heated. House can be heated. Pump house, turbine, electricity can be generated. Hot rocks. Here we use the here we have the cool water. Cool water goes to the hot rocks and hot rocks boil the water, turns into the steam, and steam when move from the turbine, and electricity can be generated when steam move the turbine. So this is the geothermal power. Where there is water present over such rocks, it comes out the surface of Earth from fountains, geyser, and the steam is used to run generator. Where there is no water over, tunnels are drilled. There are rocks and cold water is pumped through one tunnel, which comes out the form of steam through the second tunnel. So we have two tunnels. One tunnel is to pump up the water, and the second tunnel is comes out the steam. The steam runs a generator which produces electricity. So this is a geothermal power. Geothermal power station, you can see that. This is the example of geothermal power, and you can see the steam that is evaporating to the atmosphere. And what is the next topic that we will discuss? What is the next is production of electricity of energy, traditional and non-traditional method. We have done that by biomass and solid waste. By biomass and solid waste. The next that we discuss is by biomass and solid waste. Production of electricity from biomass and solid waste. Biomass is a natural source of energy. It consists of all organic materials such as residue of crops, trees, plants, vegetable peels, animal dung, and sewage, etc. Sewage is that dirt which is remained after staining dirty water. The fuel obtained by biomass is of two types. Ethanol alcohol is produced by the alcoholic fermentation of biomass. This is substitute of gasoline, Another type of fermentation gives out the methane gas, which is substance of natural gas. This is called biogas. It can be burned or used to produce electricity. Figure 7.15. Biomass, closed tank, gas outlet. So here we put the biomass and it goes to the closed tank. There is a gas a pipe, and there is the outlet where we can get the outer product. The method of producing biomass is from the method of producing biogas from biomass is not complicated. Biomass is rotated in a closed tank or a pit. Bacteria have to fermentate it, and biogas is the output that can be piped out easily. The residue left over in the pit is good fertilizer. 7.15. Solid waste is the dirty garbage that is collected by the municipality. Solid waste is burnt in a type of furnace. The heat thus produced is directly supplied to the boiler, which converts the water into steam. The generator are run with this steam to produce electricity. This is also solve the problem of solid waste disposal. So the next thing is measurement of energy. 7.6. Measurement of energy. Since energy is the ability to do work, therefore the unit of energy will be the same as the unit of work. The SI unit of work and energy is joule, which is denoted by a J. This is very unit is used for all kind of energy. Measuring electrical energy. Electrical energy can be measured in joules, but practically kilowatt hour unit is used for its measurement. The meter installed in our home measure electricity in this unit. Homes measure electricity in this unit. The number of units consumed by an electric appliances depend upon its power as well as the duration for which it is kept on. The energy consumed in 1 second is called power. The energy consumed in 1 second is called power. Power is equal to energy over time. The unit of power is watt. The symbol used for this is W. You might have read 60 watts, 100 watts, etc. printed over bulbs. This power of bulb, power of appliances is mostly printed on it. 1000 watt power is called 1 kilowatt. Unit of electrical energy. Then what is the next thing is energy and environment, but we have to cover all these things. Unit of electrical energy. The unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour, which is denoted as kWh. The electricity meters measured electricity in this unit. 1 kilowatt hour is the amount of energy that is consumed by a 1000 watt appliances in 1 hour. How we get 1 kilowatt hour amount of energy we consume when we use appliances that have the energy consumption of 1000 watts, and then we use that appliance for 1 hour, and when we consume 1 kilowatt hour or 1 unit of energy if we use any appliances that have 1000 watt of energy consumption for 1 hour. What we consume? We consume 1 kilowatt, which is equal to 1 unit of electricity meter that calculate for the electricity bill. According to the above definition of kWh, which is kilowatt per hour, a 100 watt bulb consumes 1 unit of electricity in 10 hours, and a 200 watt bulb consumes in 5 hours, An air conditioner of 25,000 or 2500 watt consumes 2.5 unit of electricity in 1 hour. Electricity meter. An electricity meter is shown in figure 7.16. Electricity meter, you can see that electricity meter. The working principle of electricity meter is the same as electric motor. Live wire of main supply passes through the field coils of the meter. At the center of field coils there is another coil which can rotate about its axis. The coil is connected to the main supply through a high resistance. When an appliance is home is turned on, current starts flowing through the field coil. This produces magnetic field due to which is the coil inside the field rotates. The disc rotating along with the coil can be seen from outside. The large the current flow through the meter, the faster is the rotation of disc. The gears attached to the disc display meter reading on the dial in the form of digits. Usually the digits to the extreme right is 1 to 10th of the unit, for example decimal point, while the reading to its left shows the number of units in kilowatt hours. Measuring natural gas. Natural gas is measured in cubic meters. The gas turns a wheels while pressing through its way. The gears attached to the wheel display the volume of gas on the dial. Although petrol, diesel, and natural gases are measured in unit of volume, but the fuels can also be measured in unit of energy. For this, we should know that the amount of heat produced in joules by a specific amount of fuels. These days gas bills are being charged on the base of BTU instead of cubic meters. The BTU is unit of energy, which is called British thermal unit. 1 BTU is equal to 1055 joules. Next thing is energy and environment. The next thing is energy and environment. 7.7 Energy and environment. The living place of people and all physical and social factor around that affects their living and working condition is called the environment. Air and water and land are inanimate components of environment. Air is the main component of Earth environment. In the absence of air, no life could have been possible on Earth. Air is present up to the height of about 200 kilometers from the surface of Earth. It is called atmosphere. That is part of atmosphere where all living bodies reside is 8 to 20 kilometer thick cover of gases over the Earth. This cover acts as a shield against heat. Without this, the Earth would scorch with the heat in the day and its temperature would fall to below 0 degrees centigrade in the night, and in the day the temperature will go up to 50 degrees centigrade. Thermal pollution. What is the next thing is energy and environment. Thermal pollution. The unpleasant change occur in the air, water, and surface of Earth that causes unhygienic effect on the human animal life as well as the plants is called pollution. Pollution is of many types, but we will discuss here the thermal pollution only. Thermal pollution caused in the environment by heat, smoke, harmful gases is called thermal pollution. Although heat is very essential for plants, animals, and human life, but if the proportion of heat is in the environment exceed at a certain level, it could be harmful. The excessive use of energy has increased the thermal pollution in our environment. There are many factors that causes thermal pollution. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, lead compounds, and other harmful gases in addition to tremendous amount of heat are added in the atmosphere by burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are burnt in transport, in industries, for the production of thermal power, and for many other purposes. The nuclear energy is used for producing electricity is also cause of addition in thermal pollution. The cooling towers of nuclear reactor are adding heat into the atmosphere are all the time. Other than this, all the form of energy that we are ultimately transferred into heat. A big cause of increase in thermal pollution is the greenhouse effect. Carbon dioxide act like a glass of greenhouse. When the earth after absorbing sun heat emit heat rays of larger wavelengths. Carbon dioxide does not allow them to escape out into space, but instead absorb them. Therefore, the increase of carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere cause increase in temperature at the surface of Earth. As the thermal pollution is increasing, the temperature of Earth environment is also increasing. So what is the next thing that we are reading? Degradation of environment 7.8. Degradation of environment 7.8. 7.8 Degradation of environment. Normal thermal pollution does not affect the environment badly. Various natural processes such as plants, water, etc. are always in action to keep the balance of environment. If thermal pollution is too much, the regional climate can be affected badly. The change of climate can also affect the whole system of agriculture production. When pollution more than certain limit is added to the environment, it is known as degradation of the environment. In such an environment, not only the health of living bodies is damaged, but also plants are affected. Harmful gases cause enhancement of eye, nose, ear, and throat disease. Steps to minimize environmental degradation. Following steps can be useful to minimize degradation. Number 1. The main role to minimize thermal pollution is to played by forest. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and emit oxygen. This helps to maintain balance of environment, but growing population has started deforestation for their energy need. This depriving human beings of great blessing of God. It is needed that forestation be increased so that balance of environment may not be shattered. Number 2. The fitness of vehicles. The fitness of vehicles running on the road should be observed. Vehicles should not be make smoke. Rickshaw, particularly motorcycle rickshaw, are producing too much pollution in cities. A better system of public transport can reduce pollution to much extent. If comfortable buses are available easily for public transport in cities, many people will stop driving their own cars and motorcycles. This will reduce pollution as well as save national money. Pollution will be minimized to much extent if the trains has run with electricity instead of fossil fuels. Electric trains network should be promoted in our country. Number 3. Industries consumes almost 20% of energy resources. In addition to heat, poisonous gases emitted by them also cause pollution. Appropriate processing is needed for this. Number 4. Such energy resources should be promoted which produce less pollution, for example, electric energy, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy. Number 5. Excessive growth in population is also one reason of enhancement in pollution. As population increases, the need of energy also increases with the same ratio. Consumption of more energy means more increase in pollution. It suggests that population planning is very important. Number 6. People should be careful burn solid waste and tires, etc. at public places. So these are the steps to minimize environmental degradation. And what is the topic that we are discussing next? Chapter number 8. Alright, so we are now reading the glossary. What is work? Product of force and distance. What is energy? Ability to do work. Kinetic energy. Energy due to motion. Potential energy. Energy due to position. Elastic potential energy. Energy stored due to pressing, stretching or twisting. Chemical energy. Energy produced due to chemical reaction. Heat energy. Energy due to molecular motion. Light energy. Energy due to which we see things. Electrical energy. Energy of moving charges. Nuclear energy. Energy from nucleus of atoms. Hydroelectric power. Production of electricity from flowing water. Thermal power. Production of electricity from burning fossil fuels. Nuclear power. Production of electricity from nuclear energy. Solar power. Production of electricity from solar energy. Wind power. Production of electricity from wind energy. Tidal power. Production of electricity from force of water tides. Geothermal power. Production of electricity by steam or hot water coming from depth of earth. So now we are moving on chapter. No, we have still other glossary. Biomass. Organic materials and their residue are called biomass. Solid waste is called garbage. Biogas. Gas produced by biomass. Kilowatt hour. Unit of electrical energy. Environment. Living place of people including physical and social factor around them. Thermal pollution. Addition of heat and harmful gases in the atmosphere. Greenhouse effect. Increased in the temperature of environment due to carbon dioxide gas. Degradation of environment. Addition of pollution in environment more than the certain limit. Nuclear fuel. Material where from nuclear energy is obtained. Radiation. Alpha, beta and gamma rays. Now we are moving on chapter number 8. Chapter number 8. Chapter number 8 is current electricity. What is current electricity? Electric current. What is electric current? Electricity is very common form of energy which we use in our homes, workplaces every day. It is facilitated the availability of our needs of life. Just turn on the switch and electricity start its works. Electricity is used in 4 important ways. It causes fans, electric motors and machines to move. It provides light through bulbs, through tube light and television. In loudspeakers it converts electrical energy into sound, and electrical energy converted into heat. For example, in iron heater and toaster, it assumes the form of heat. What is electric current? 8.1. You know that electric current is the flow of charges. What is electric current? Electric current is the flow of charges. The charges are the free electrons which are available in conductor. In some conductor like liquid and gases, the current also flows due to motion of positive and negative ions. But source of energy is required to force the charges into motion. The source pushes the charges through the circuit. For example, we have the conductor of any type of conductor. they contains the charge. The amount of charge that passes through any cross section in 1 second is called current. The amount of charge that passes through any cross section in 1 second is called current. uh, what is that? I think it is the how we talk about the current. If charges q passes through any cross section in time t seconds, then the current I can be written as arithmetically I is equal to q over t. How we can write the current? Arithmetically we can write that I is equal to q over t. It is the formula of electric current, sorry, simple current basically. Electric current, no, electric current, we are talking about electric current, so it's electric current. The unit of a current in System International SI is ampere. What is the unit of current in System International is ampere, which is denoted as A. A is used to denote ampere. Current can be measured by connecting an ammeter in series with the circuit. So how we can measure the current? When we use the ammeter in series. 1 milliampere is equal to 10 minus 3 raised to the power minus 3 ampere, and 1 microampere is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 6 ampere. Now we are talking about the conventional current. From very beginning, after the discovery of electricity, it was assumed that the electric current is due to flow of positive charges, which is moved from positive terminal of the battery toward the negative terminal. This is called conventional current. But now we know that this fact very well, that charge carrying particles in metals conductor are the electrons having negative charge on them. Electrons move from negative terminal of the battery towards the positive terminal. Thus this fact current is due to the flow of negative charge. Keep in mind that electrons do not flow through the conductor like stream, but their motion is different. A number of free electrons are always bumping among the atom of conductor, which is called random motion. Figure 8.2. In conductor there are free electrons. They move from that place to that place, from that place until we attach with the power source. In absence of a battery, the number of electrons passing towards left is the same as through the right side. Thus net rate of electrons passing through any cross section in one direction is 0. When one end of a conductor is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the other end connected to the negative terminal of the battery, the electron experience force. Due to this force, electrons start drifting toward the positive terminal of the battery in addition to their random. Addition to the random motion, as electrons have negative charge, so they carry negative charge while moving through the circuit. However, we can assume that amount of positive charge flowing in one direction is equivalent to the same amount of charge flowing in the opposite direction. So if the electron flowing to the minus side, they flow from the same value, and if they move from the positive to minus side, they flow with the same value. The amount of positive charge flowing in one direction is equivalent to the same amount of charge flowing in the opposite direction. What is the next thing? The next thing is conventional current. We've done that. What is Ohm's law? Next thing is Ohm's law. Ohm's law. 8.4 Ohm's law. Is there any relation between current and potential difference? Let us perform an experiment for this activity. Connect 1 meter long nichrome wire to an variable power supply as shown in the figure. Also connect as an ammeter in a series with the circuit connect a voltmeter parallel the nichrome wire, increase the voltage step by step from the power supply. Keep on noting that reading of V of voltmeter and the reading of I on ammeter. You will observe that the value of V over I remains constant. For example, V is proportional to I. The uh, the relation between the potential difference and current first discovered by George Simon Ohm in 1926 is that the the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference. The provided that the temperature and the physical state of the conductor does not change. This is the Ohm law. In mathematically we can write as V directly proportional to I. V is equal to Ri or IR. You can write that, where R is a constant called the resistance of the conductor. From Ohm's law we can determine the value of any unknown quantity by knowing that the other two quantities. So the next thing is resistance. Here we have the figure of, we have power source, we have ammeter here, we have voltmeter here, nichrome wire here, and what we do that the current flowing from positive to negative, and we have ammeter here. When we increase the voltage, the current will be increased, and when we decrease the voltage, the voltmeter decrease the low reading, and also current will be the decrease. 8.5 resistance. The opposition to the flow of charges is called resistance. Resistance is equal to the ratio of potential difference and current. From equation R is equal to V over I. Resistance is equal to volt over current. In a circuit diagram, resistance is shown by a zigzag line as shown in figure 8.7. The SI unit of resistance is ohm. Ohm is a SI unit of resistance, and 8.7 we can write symbol of resistance as zigzag lines in a circuit diagram. If 1 volt potential difference applied across the end of a conductor gives rise to a current of 1 ampere, the resistance of conductor is 1 ohm. If 1 volt potential difference applied across the end of a conductor gives rise to a current of 1 ampere, the rise of a conductor is called 1 ohm. The cause of resistance is when potential difference is provided across the end of a conductor to the free electrons in conductors start moving from negative to positive, and in their way the free electrons collide with the atom of the conductor, due to which hindrance is produced in their motion because every conductor contains atom in it. Therefore every conductor does not have resistance, howsoever small it may be. Component of a circuit is the next topic that we are going to read about. What is component of a circuit? 8.6 Component of a circuit. Switches, resistor, capacitor, etc. are inserted in a circuit in addition to the battery. These are the called component of a circuit. Some important component are described as below. Switches. A switch completes or breaks a circuit. When the switch is turned off, no current flow through the circuit. In laboratory, the switch is replaced by a key, which can be closed or open in the home. Switch of different designs are used to turn electricity appliances on or off. Some sample of switch and keys are shown figure 8.0, 8.8. Switch key. Resistor. The conductor having a large resistance are called resistors. Bulb, heater, iron, fan, other electric appliances are resistors. The charges flowing in a circuit carry energy from the battery and spend it while passing through the resistor. Here, the energy is converted into heat, light, and motion. When the electrons flowing through the circuit collide with the atoms, they transfer their energy to the atom. With increase the energy, vibration of the atom become more vigorous and their temperature increase. That is why the resistor emit heat light as we observe in case of lighted bulb or heater. Resistors are also used to reduce or enhance the current in the circuit of appliances like radio, television, etc. These are made from special materials. The values of resistance are indicated in the form of colored bands on the resistors. The next thing, these for your information, different resistors, colors, brand have drawn indicates their values. Capacitors. Capacitors store electric charge and are used for many other purposes in electric circuit. A simple capacitor consists of two parallel metal plates. There is some insulator placed between the plates that is called dielectric. There is some insulator placed between the plates that is called dielectric. When the capacitor is connected across the battery, positive charge is deposited on the positive plate and the negative charge is deposited on the other plate. The charge remains there even the battery is removed. This is called charging of capacitor. When the capacitor is charged, potential difference is developed across the plates due to the opposite charge. The more charge is stored, the greater potential difference is produced. The SI unit of a capacitor is farad, which is denoted as F. Farad, F-A-R-A-D. Farad is a bigger unit. Usually we use microfarad, which is denoted as U. Micro U. F is used as small unit. 1 microfarad is equal to 10 raised to the minus F, 10 raised to the minus 6 F. So we can see that on diagram A, we have the A plate of capacitor and B plate of capacitor contain minus charge and contain positive charge. Types of capacitor and uses. Two long metal foils are usually used to enhance the area of plates of the capacitor. A layer of paper or plastic sheet is placed in between the plates and rolled up. This became a fixed capacitor. Fixed capacitors are used in electrical fans, motors. When switch is turned on, the capacitor is charged. The current in the circuit increases as it discharges and fan or motors start easily. Different types of capacitor are shown in figure. Two sets of plates are used in variable capacitors. One set is fixed whereas the other one can rotate to change the area between the plates. This charge changes the capacitance. This is called the gang capacitor. Such capacitors are used for turning radio, television. Capacitor also used to smooth the ripples while AC and DC when sound signals from microphone or tape recorder is fed to the amplifier. A capacitor introduced in the way so that the DC voltage of amplifier may not damage the microphone. This is figure 8.10 is the example of gang capacitor containing the different metal plates. And what is the next thing that we are discussing here? Component of a circuit: direct and alternating current. Direct and alternating current. We can here even 1 minute we can cover the transformer. Transformer is a device that decrease or increase the AC voltage in AC current. In AC current does not flow in one direction but in changes the direction alternatively. In a transformer we have primary, secondary and iron core. We have primary coil, secondary coil. If we increase primary turns more and secondary turns less, uh, if we have in a transformer primary more turns in primary side and less turns in secondary side, it is called step down transformer. But in if we have less turns in primary coil and more turns in secondary coil, then it is called step up transformer. Step up transformer is for increasing the voltage, and step down transformer is for decreasing the voltage. This is step down transformer, this is step up transformer. Okay, now we are going to the DC and AC current. I hope that direct and alternative current. DC and direct and alternating current. When both ends of a conductor are connected to the battery, current start flowing through it. The current is directed from positive to negative terminal. The current which always flow in one direction is called the direct current. Commonly, the direct current is termed as DC. There is another type of current which is change its direction again and again. The current which change its direction again and again is known as alternating current. The alternating current is abbreviated as AC current. The electricity supplied to the homes is also AC current. What is the next thing that we are talking about? Uses of AC and DC. Dangers of electricity and precautionary measures and measuring instruments. Now we are going to uses of AC and DC. 8.8 Uses of DC and AC. Cells are used in torches, watches and toys. These are sources of direct current. A car battery is also provide DC. Actually, a radio, tape recorder, television, computer, etc. all works with the DC current. These appliances are use AC supply. After converting it into DC, electric fans, motor, bulbs and heaters, etc. work with AC electric current. Electricity supply is brought from far off places through cables. If they were transmitted at 220 volts, a major portion would have been wasted. Therefore, electricity is transmitted from the power station at a very high voltage. Then the voltage is reduced locally at 220 voltage with the help of transformers and supplied to the consumers. As transformer can be changed the AC voltage and not the DC voltage. Therefore, AC is preferred to DC. Beside this, AC can convert into DC very easily whenever needed in case of electroplating. Moreover, AC is used for carrying signals of microphone, tape recorder and for the radio television transmission. Next topic is danger of electricity and precautionary measures. Dangers of electricity and precautionary measures. Dangers of electricity and precautionary measure. 8.11 Dangers of electricity and precautionary measures. There are many advantages of electricity, but you cannot deny its danger as well. A few of them are described below. Electric shock. Number 1. Sometimes live wire may touch with the metallic body of electric appliances like a fan or iron. If a person in this state happen to the touch to that appliance, a current start flowing through him into the ground. When a current flow through a living body, it is called an electric shock. When a current flow through a living body, it is called an electric shock. Some part of the body may burn with the electric shock, or even death can be caused. Number 1 is fire. Electric appliances are the resistors. The current flow through them up to a certain limit. If the insulation of wire is damaged due to some reason, and the wire touch together. The current completes its circuit through wires only without passing through the resistor. As the wire have negligible resistance, so large current start flowing through them. The wire becomes so hot that these catch fire. This fire became more dangerous after it spread away. 8.5 is the example of fire. The figure shows that how fire damage the residence area. Overloading, damage insulation. Beside damage insulation, overloading or damp condition could also be the cause of fire. Explosion. At the place where petrol, diesel, firework, or the inflammable chemical are present, the short circuit become extremely dangerous. These materials can explode after catch fire. The chances of explosion increase many times in a military ammunition depot. Precautionary measures. What is the next thing that we first see? That measuring instruments. Precautionary measure is also the part of that. Danger of electricity can be controlled by the making precautionary measure. However, higher below the given some precautionary measures, by taking some of these measures, the danger of the electricity can be avoided much extent. Number 1, always insert switch in the way of live wire. 2, do not plug in many electric appliances in the same socket. It will cause overloading. Number 3, do not let electric appliances touch with water, as water is conductor of electricity, therefore it may increase the chances of short circuiting. Number 4, the use of fuse and circuit breaker reduce the danger of electricity. Number 5, earth wire must be connected to the electric appliances. This can save from possible accidents. Number 6, do not pull the wire removing out the plug from the socket. Always pull out the plug. Number 7, fire extinguishers should be made available in the office and factories of the emergency use. First aid administration. If a person has received electric shock, watch before touching him whether he is still in contact with the electric appliance. If so, turn off the main switch immediately. In case the main switch is out of reach, detach the affected person from the appliance with the help of wooden rod or plastic object. The electric shock can stop respiration and it can also cause death of a victim. If breathing stops, try to restore respiration artificially by giving air through mouth. Number 3, in case the heart stops breathing, press upon the chest repeatedly with both of your hands. It may restore heart breathing. Number 4, immediately call the ambulance and carry the patient to the hospital. Okay, what is the next thing? The next thing is measuring instruments. Measuring instruments. Different instruments are used for measuring of current, voltage, and resistance. Besides the basically the galvanometer is an instrument which detects the current. Different measuring instruments are made by making modification in galvanometer. You have learned about the electric motor in the lower classes. The principle of galvanometer is the same as that electric motor. The coil of the wire placed in the opposite magnetic poles. An axle passes through the center of the coil. When current passes through the coil, it turns about the axle. The springs at the ends of the axle are tightened. As the coil rotates, they stop further rotation of the coil. As the coil rotates, a pointer fixed on the coil is also deflects along circuit scale. Figure 8.17. The more the current, the larger the deflection. Galvanometer attains full scale deflection only when a few milliampere current That is why a galvanometer is not only measured the exact amount of current, but it is only used for detect the current. The next thing is ammeter. What is ammeter? Ammeter is an instrument which measures the current. This is made by connecting a small resistance in a parallel to the coil of the galvanometer. This resistance is called shunt. Shunt is shunt. What is shunt? This made a connecting a small resistance in parallel the coil of the galvanometer. This resistance is called the shunt. Shunt is the resistance in ammeter. The major portion of the current passes through the shunt. Only small portion passes through the galvanometer. The value of the shunt resistance is determined by the desired range of the ammeter. Ammeter is always connected in series with a circuit so that all the current to be measured should pass through an ammeter. Due to this reason, the resistance of the ammeter is very low, so that it may not alter the current in the circuit. While connecting the ammeter in a circuit, care should be taken that the current may not be exceed its range. Moreover, the current should enter the ammeter from its positive terminal. What is a voltmeter? Voltmeter is an instrument which is used to measure the potential difference, which is called volt. This can made by modification in galvanometer. A high resistance is connected in a series with a coil of galvanometer. This converts it to a voltmeter. The value of high resistance depend upon the range of the voltmeter. Usually the resistance of its many thousand ohms. A voltmeter is connected in parallel to the points across which the potential difference is to be measured. As the resistance of a voltmeter is very high, so it does not draw any current from the main circuit. By using the voltmeter in the way, the potential difference between the 2 points does not change and it measured accurately like ammeter. Care must be taken when we use voltmeter. Its positive terminal should be connected to the positive terminal and point view whose potential is higher than the other. So this is the multimeters example. Multimeter and battery switch. This is the overall circuit of voltmeter, how voltmeter work. What is a multimeter? What This is instrument which can be used measure current, potential difference and resistance. This is also called AVO meter. A stand for ampere, V for volt and O for ohm. Multimeter is also galvanometer which is converted into ammeter, voltmeter, ohm meter by necessary modification for any one measurement. Its function is selected with the help of switch. Range can be also selected from every function. For a voltmeter, it is provided with the facility to measure both AC and DC voltages at the same time. You can measure AC and DC voltage with the multimeter. Analog and digital meters. The digital meters about the which you can read so far, such as you can have the note the position of the pointer on the circular scale to take the reading, as the scale is continuous, so every reading is possible in the scale. Such meter are called analog meter, meter shown in the figure 8.2.0. This is a multimeter but analog. There is also electric meter for measuring current, potential difference and resistance. This is called digital meter. It is also performed as all function of the AV meter, but the difference is that the digital meter multimeter reading is displayed on the form of digits that can be read easily. Error is possible by human eye while looking at the position of the pointer of the scale analog meter. On the other hand, the error is not even most of the time possible. There is no error possible in the digital meter because you can see the digits on the screen meter because it's a display in the digits. Because there is a display in digital meter, you can see digits with the accuracy of the value, but on the multimeter the pointed of the arrow is difficult to read, and sometimes you read the difficult, oh sorry, the read the different meaning, different reading, and it will lead to the wrong reading. Okay, so now we are going to the glossary. Electric current, amount of charge passing through any cross section in 1 second is called electric current. Conventional current, flow of positive charge. Flow of positive charge is called electric current. Sorry, conventional current. Flow of positive charge, conventional current. Potential difference, no, there is no potential, but resistance. Opposition of the flow of charge is called resistance. A resistor, conductor of large resistance, called resistors. Capacitors, device that store charges. Transformers, device that increase or decrease AC voltage. Direct current, current flows in one direction only. Alternating current, current flows that change direction again and again. Switch, device that complete or breaks the circuit. Kilowatt hour, unit of electric energy. Electric shock, flow of charge through a living body. Ammeter, instrument for measuring current. Voltmeter, instrument that we use for measuring voltage. Multimeter, instrument that we use for measuring current, voltage and resistance, which is also called AVO meter. Analog meter, instrument showing continuous reading with the help of pointer. Digital meter, instrument displaying reading in the digits. So we are completing here the general science final term syllabus, and now we are going to end this video, and it is almost 2 hours and 41 minutes. So thank you so much for watching this video, and we are going to end this video right now. Okay, goodbye. Thank you so much for watching.